Hey everyone, I'm back, and today we're going to be talking about Gangs of New York. And this movie is directed by Martin Scorsese, and it came out in 2002, starring Leonardo DiCaprio, Daniel Day-Lewis, Cameron Diaz, John C. Reilly, Brendan Gleeson. Those two are in it too. Same thing with Liam Neeson. And a bit of history with this movie. I've actually seen this movie before, once, and I remember liking it back then, and I still like it. I don't love it like I do plenty of other Scorsese films. Like, there's plenty of films that he's made that I like a lot more, for sure. But this one I did enjoy. I really enjoyed the opening scene, and there wasn't a whole lot of blood in the action scenes in this movie. Like, it wasn't a bloodbath necessarily like a Tarantino film or a Saw movie. Like, it was there, but it wasn't like everywhere. Like, everywhere you look, there's blood, and it's not like overly disturbing. Nor is it campy fun violence either. And I thought the acting in this movie was really great. Daniel Day-Lewis especially, he was amazing in this film. He was my favorite part of the movie. Leonardo DiCaprio did a good job, and Cameron Diaz was fun to watch. Overall, the performances is not really where I have my issues with this film, but we'll get to that later. The movie looks very nice. You can tell that it's a movie from Scorsese, and I especially enjoyed the structure of the film. It felt very much like a Martin Scorsese movie, and that's a compliment to the film. I like that about it. Most of the music in this movie was good. The only music that I didn't really enjoy was in the opening action scene, which was kind of a bit distracting for me. Mostly because it just felt not with the rest of the music, and it just stood out. I was like, okay, that was kind of odd. And the movie was at its best when it was Daniel Day-Lewis and Leonardo DiCaprio on screen. Like, whenever it's those two on screen at the same time, that's where the movie is at its best for me. And even with just Daniel Day-Lewis, the movie's working really well for me, because he is my favorite part of the movie. Lots of racist insults in this movie that felt authentic to the time, and just keep that in mind if you decide to watch this film. The story overall was compelling for me, and I liked the characters. I found them to be interesting, especially Bill Cunnings, Daniel Day-Lewis's character, and he also goes by The Butcher, which I found to be kind of funny, because not too long ago I watched M. Night Shyamalan's Trap, and that's the nickname for the main character, The Butcher. And The Butcher in this movie is a lot better than Trap. You actually see some violence in this movie. There's also some tense scenes in this movie that I really enjoyed, and when the movie starts to focus on Leo and Daniel Day-Lewis, that's where the movie stays consistently good. As in, before that, I was kind of, what are you doing? What are you doing? Outside of the opening scene and, like, the first action scene that we get, it's not that this movie is action-packed. Like, action scene after action scene. Like, most of the movie is not action. But I will say, after that opening action scene, and once we get to the title card 16 years later, that's where the movie doesn't really work all too well, mostly because of the editing and how it feels very choppy, and it just makes it really difficult to pay attention to or like really concentrate to anything that's going on. And I was like, why are we doing this? It feels like so much information is just bashed into your head, and I can't really focus on anything because I feel like I'm getting a headache. And there were some unnecessary flashbacks in this movie that I could do without. But most of the movie was good. It's just, for like 20 minutes, I was kind of frustrated because of the editing in this movie. Like, it could have been communicated in a way that didn't really give me a headache, and it would have been a lot better for me. But unfortunately, this is just what we're left with. And also, when we do get to flashbacks, even if they are very brief, which they are, they kind of change the color grading of the film. Sometimes it's blue or gold or green or whatever. Like, why they did that, I don't know. That was kind of unnecessary. Like, the movie's already really long. Like, why do you feel as though you need to dumb it down. I just don't understand why you need to do that. And also, the stuff that it's showing didn't happen all that late in the film. Like, these flashbacks are happening all within the first act of the movie. Like, why would you do that? And overall, I did enjoy revisiting this movie because it's been a few years since I've last seen it. And I did have a positive experience overall. I have my own criticisms with this film. It didn't blow me away. It's not a movie that I'm particularly rushing back to seeing, but I did like it. So I would recommend that you check this movie out. It's got a lot of good things in it and some really amazing scenes in it. It's just that for the first half of the first act, it's going to be a little difficult to get through because there's a lot that they're trying to get you up to speed with that I feel could have been communicated in a way that didn't feel so rushed. So with all that being said, I'm going to give Gangs of New York a 7 out of 10. Thank you for watching my videos as always. If you enjoyed this review, be sure to leave a like and comment down below you thought of Gangs of New York, and my social media links, they will all be in the description, so follow me there. And last but not least, subscribe to be a part of Foley Nation, and I'll see you when I get my next review up, and that is going to be for Maria. So look forward to that, but until I get that up, thank you for watching and have a great day.